Good evening and welcome to the brain fade on my end, to the 8th round of our 1991 F1 Championship, the große Mobil Preis von Deutschland, the German Grand Prix for us English speakers. And we are broadcasting tonight from the Hockenheim Ring, the well-known and well-respected old layout with the, well, not old, but let's call it semi-old. The 80s and 90s layout with Bremskurve 1, 2 und 3, with a somewhat butchered Ostkurve and good same old stadium section with the Sachskurve, Opelkurve and Südkurve to give us some good action, hopefully. This is, like I mentioned, the 1991 F1 Championship, and looking at the points coming into this 8th round, in terms of the Constructors / Teams Championship, we have Cannon Williams team leading on 47 points, mostly thanks to the results that Ray Riddle has had, with Michael Drexler being there or thereabout in some areas of the recent couple of races. He had a very good race at Mexico, for example, at Hermanos Rodriguez circuit. Don't think he managed to score points, but was still there or thereabout in terms of scoring some points in that event. Second in the Team Championship is Team 7-Up Jordan on 42 points. We will remember last time out that Anders finished second, and I believe brain fade on the name. The other Jordan finished in, I believe it was third, so a double podium for the Jordan team last time out. Me and names don't go together, as most of you will know, with me being Jonatan. Usually doing the oval broadcasts, but tonight Jason wanted to race, and all good to him, he actually made the grid. So hopefully he will have a good race this evening. Third in the Team Championship is Brown Tyrrell Honda, previously with Wilkes and Coxon in the driver's seat. Now only Wilkes out of that duo. Fourth in the Team Championship, only 1 point behind, scoring 21 at the moment, is Scuderia Italia. May have wanted to be a bit higher up in the points, but still in with a shout at third in the Team's Championship. That team consisting of Grant Vidal and Giovanni Santorame. Equal fifth in the standings are the two Ferrari-powered teams, Minardi and Scuderia Ferrari, both having scored 12 points so far. Most of those 12 points scored last time out in France, when me and names, my god. David managed I believe 4th place in that race. Looking at the driver standings, after 7 rounds, we have Ray Riddle in the lead on 46, despite having crashed on the final lap last time out. He still leads the championship, but now only 10 points ahead of Anders Nilsson. Nilsson himself on 36 points. Equal third in the championship is Giovanni Santorame and Richard Coxon, both having scored 16 points so far. And Jules Bouchard, who won last time out, having moved over from Jordan to McLaren, and currently sitting at the top in the warm-up session in his McLaren, having scored 12 points. Speaking of the track, this is the Hockenheimring, a 6.802 kilometer permanent road course. We'll be doing 45 laps around this place, most of it on full throttle. In real life the engines took a beating, and I can't help but imagine that the engines will be unhappy this time out as well. Another thing to consider is the tires. We're probably likely to see softs or mediums in this race. 1 or 0 stops, dependent on the way they have driven the race. And dependent on the heat, you might get away with no stopping the softs. You could definitely get away with no stopping the mediums if it's warm enough. But let's make our way to the race track and have a little look at what is going on, and if we can find anyone currently heading towards a lap. It looks like Dave Miller is in the Lamborghini, also specifically known as the Modena. So let's ride on board with Dave here and follow along with the lap coming through Sudkurve onto the start-finish straight. Heading into Nordkurve, almost 90-degree right-hander. Don't want to use too much curve on the outside there, it can spit you off. Then a long straight on full throttle, slightly curved, and coming up to somewhat difficult braking zone coming into Bremskurve Heinz. Braking up to around 150-meter mark, I reckon, 100 meters for the Modena. Right, and then left. Get the car squared up and as much throttle application as you can, as early as you can, onto another curved, long straight. Oh, as we can see, Ricardo McLaren's weaving by. And heading into Bremskurve 2, where in the real-life race, Comas in the Ligier had a big crash the day before the race, was then actually qualified. And through Ostkurve, this is a long sweeping right-hander. Before they put in the Bremskurve section, this was one hell of a scary corner. Another long straight here and into Bremskurve Drive. On the third chicane, depending on which language I feel like using at the time. Left, right, and another left as Lavach comes by in footwork. And another fairly long straight, stretching the engines as far as you can. And then heading into Aggenkurve. Another almost 90-degree, slots a little bit wider right-hander, short straight in the stadium section, heading into Saxkurve, 180-degree bend. Then left, and then through here, this double right-hander is Opelkurve, and then back to the Sydkurve to finish off the lap. Nice steady lap there from Dave. Having been passed by others, currently 17th, and he has a Williams in behind him. That's not what you want to be having behind you, and a Benetton. So he is likely to be blown by very quickly here. And I notice I have a automatic vacuum cleaner in my room. That's not supposed to be running at all. So I'll let you watch the action here just a little bit. That is let's see, which Benetton is that? I'd assume it's Chacon. But I'll leave you with Lavach for a moment while I just make sure looks like it's all set. Okay. Ooh, and a bit too much throttle application there from Lavach, and he spins. Good to see all of you here watching as well. I can see Mark Matthias here got the AGS on the grid. That is very well done, considering how fairly slow that car is. Has the slowest engine in the grid, but a bit more slippy than the Colonia I'm usually driving. And I can see Berlin as well. Nice to have you along for the ride. Please let me know in the chat if when we were on that onboard lap with Miller earlier, whether the sound was okay or if the engines were a little bit loud. I've had some changes in the settings since we did Pro Car last year, so please just let me know if it's way out of whack. So currently fastest in warm-up session with 10 minutes left of it. We have Jules Bouchard, Schlapinski second fastest, Ray Riddall third fastest, Jonatan subbing in at... No, actually he has switched from Leighton House to McLaren for this round. Looks to be somewhat on the pace, it looks like, a little bit behind Bouchard, his teammate, but still in that burger machine doing a good job. Hey Lucy, my broadcast assistant has just arrived. And sixth at the moment in warm session is Anders Nilsson and the Jordan. And something worthy to take note of ahead of this race is that in the real-life race, the winner was Mansell in the Williams with Patrese second, both of them having made one stop in the race. Shauna Lacey in the Ferrari finished third with no stops made. Gerhard Berger finished fourth with one stop made. The Cesaris and Gasho, the two Jordans, finished fifth and sixth. And I believe the second McLaren of Senna was classified seventh, having had an engine failure with one lap to go. So that gives us a little possibility of what the finishing order probably will look like come the end of the race. Sanrame in the Scuderia Italia in the seventh. Then we have Hille in the Minardi. Grant Riddall in the second Scuderia Italia. Then we have Wilkes in the Tyrrell in 10th, Chacon in the Benetton 11th, Simon Wattmann subbing in at Ferrari for David in the 27th. Luke Rossella, yet again showing real good pace, really good pedaler, is this Australian driver. Currently 13th on the grid, in the warm-up field. Quite impressive to say the least. And Luciano Rocha 14th, and Juha Boos in the second Benetton currently 15th. Den lilla gumman. Är det så jobbigt? Lucy has something she wants me to look at, but I'm not sure what. Yes, sir. I'll leave you with a view of the stadium section for a moment, and I'll be right back. So I am back. Let's jump on and just have a quick check that the sound is a little bit better. Looks like it's still a little bit loud maybe. So I'm just going to quickly lower it a little bit further. That should hopefully do it. Right on. Just do that for a little bit and give me a chance to have a listen to me talking while we are on board here. Since most of the trackside cameras are a little bit further away, I hope this will be sufficiently sounded enough. So, speaking of which, duration of this then. That being said, this track is quite long, so we will see some stretched out fields, most likely. Let's see, yep, that sounds good enough. In terms of the trackside camera for the sound of the cars streaming by. If all is well and good, so to speak. And look at that, ooh! Look at that Williams through the third chicane. Absolutely on the limit. That's good to hear, Jason. Usually when I drive this track, I find the stadium section the only fun part of it at all. But that being said, I'm not really a driver for this track, to say the least. You see Bors here with Schlapinski right behind him, both of them curb hopping a little bit. I'm just going to do that so I can actually see everything that's happening when we are on set and cameras. But yeah, with 40 seconds to go, looks like we are set to soon head into the race session. With a quick stop test for Wilkes there. This is going to be a fairly long race for all the drivers tonight. Because while there are long straights, you're pretty much constantly turning. So it's not really the kind of rest you would like, and considering the long straights, you're probably running quite low wings as well, which will mean that the car is moving about a bit, shall we say. And if you're not careful, you will have some issues coming along. That was far louder than I thought, so I will mute my microphone next I take a drink. And there we are. We are into the race session. And let's watch all the cars grid up, with Ray Riddall yet again on pole position in this 1991 championship year. And it's hard to look by the fact that he is in a prime position to win this race. I think the only ones that could realistically really challenge would be possibly the Ferraris or the McLarens, especially with the question of the 12-cylinder engines having such an advantage around this place. The one car I could possibly see having a good race as well is the Jordans, considering both of them in a real-life race finished 5th and 6th. But warm-up lap is now underway. We can see Riddall leading them away, Tim in 2nd and Bouchard in what I think was 3rd, and Schlapinski in 4th, as we see all the cars rolling by here. And actually both AGSs made it into the race. Matthias, just about making the race as well, was the 2nd one. So, looking at the grid, we have Ray Riddall on pole, Jon Tim in 2nd, Jules Bouchard in the 2nd McLaren in 3rd, Cesar Schlapinski in the Minardi M191 in 4th, Anders Nilsson lines up 5th in the Jordan Ford, Luciano Rocha in the first of the Ferraris lines up 6th on the grid, Tim Hilles in the 2nd Minardi M191 lines up 7th, with Michael Drexler in the 2nd Williams lining up 8th. Giovanni Santarame in the Dallara D191, also known as Scuderia Italia, but I'll try to remember it's a Dallara, lines up 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Juha Boos in the first of the Benetton. Richard Wilkes lines up 11th in the Tyrrell, with Gabriele Del Piccolo in an impressive driving at La Ruse, lining up in 12th. Luca Rosella likewise impressive in the footwork Hart Cosworth, lining up 13th, with Rob de Vries stepping up from the Modena team to the Leighton House Ilmor. Gives them a good qualifying session in 14th on his first drive for them. Simon Wattman in 2nd Ferrari lines up 15th, with Brun Chacon in the Benetton lining up 16th. Peter Lavach in the 2nd footwork lines up 17th, with Matthias Wittmann lining up 18th in the AGS. Dante Barbera in the first of the Brabhams lines up 19th, and rounding out the top 20 is Matthew Stibagnoni in the 2nd Tyrrell. Jason White in the Ligier and one-off drive lines up 21st, with Grant Riddall struggling here in the Dallara, lining up 22nd. Dame Miller in the Modena in a one-off drive lines up 23rd, with Felipe Eliarth in the 2nd AGS in 24th. And unfortunately we only have 24 starters in this race. I know there were a couple of drivers who were experiencing some internet connectivity issues, and I can't help but think that maybe that is a shall we call it a safety measure, jumping about with dodgy connection. It's not something you want when you're going into a race. So everyone coming in towards the grid here. And we're just going to wait for the starters' orders for this race, as everyone looks to be now gridded up, and let's see who gets the best start. A green light is on and we are underway here tonight. We can see Ridol with a clear start. Looks like the two McLarens side by side. It looks like everyone makes it through the first turn without too much issues. Oh, there's a bit of action in behind. One of the Dallaras, I think, or possibly the Ferrari. The Dallara were running side by side with someone, and they both had a bit of a moment. Oh, one of the Ferraris spinning off! McLaren spinning off! That's Jonatan with too much rear brake bias going into the Bremskurve 1 and having to wait for the full field before he can rejoin. So Jonatan from second down to 24th. That is very unfortunate for him, but at least he kept the car running. And now into Bremskurve 2 and the Åcerclinth. Ridol. Nilsson 4th, Rocha 5th, Bors up to 6th from 10th. Great start from him. Well, it's tight in this chicane, but everyone just about makes it through. And let's see, third chicane, which is more like 3 very fast sweeping turns. One Bors a little bit wide there in the dirt, yeah, but holds on. Let's see. Magnon running still, that's good to see. Del Piccolo down a few positions on the start. Jonatan making his way back up the grid. And look at this, top 3 already breaking away from the rest of the field. And so, coming towards the line, we have Ridol in the lead, Buchard second, Ślepinski third, Nilsson up to 4th, Rocha 5th and Bors up to 6th. Then we have Drexler, Hille, Central running at the top 10 is Wilks. Then we have Matthias with a great start in 11th in the ATS. Now we have Jonatan making it past Flavat, so he has already made up 5 positions in less than a full lap. Very impressive indeed. And oh, we have Del Piccolo in the pits for some kind of repairs. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was having a great start. Well, great start the first time I saw him, and then I suppose something happened maybe in one of the chicanes, but Ray Ridol in the lead, Buchard in second and Ślepinski in third. Nilsson a little bit ways behind in Jordan, then the Ferrari of Rocha, Benetton Bors and Williams of Drexler running more or less as a trio. Then we have Hille and Sendram running as a duo. This is something that often happens on these kind of tracks, long straights and a lot of slipstreaming. Wilks a little bit alone in 10th. Then we have Ray Ridol with a great start, started 22nd up to 11th. And that means he has gotten past Matthias on that straight, and here comes Rosella, I think, in trying to outbrake Matthias into Bremskurve 3. Not able to make it happen, but maybe Wittmann runs wide. No, it's actually Rosella that runs wide, and neither of them loses a position. Wattmann up to 14th, 1 position up. I believe that means De Vries has gone down 1, as some dust is being kicked up by Matthias and Rosella. But both of them with no issues at the moment. And we can see Jonatan here. No more positions made just yet. He's still 17th, running right in behind Bruno Chacon. Let's see if he can make a move either through the Sydkurve or into maybe into Nordkurve, or if he has to wait all the way down to Bremskurve 1. Looks like he will have to wait. Let's see if he can get a good run here. Oh, he definitely does. Maybe too good a run. Looks like he may have even checked up a little bit behind Chacon then. But here he goes. Trying to go around that side. Ooh. Those gear changes really making a difference down the straight. There goes Tim up to 16th. And Chacon now have to look out for Palavac behind. Rosella has made it past Wittmann as well. You see that happened early on in that straight. At the Bremskurve 2. Looks like Centorame has caught up. No, Centorame and Hiller has began to caught up to Vacha, who himself is trying to catch up to Drexler. I do believe Hiller's lost out to Vacha in all of this. No, I'm wrong. He was already in that position indeed. Unfortunately, we can see Del Piccola's lost one lap due to those repairs he was forced to take. As someone did a faster lap, I didn't quite catch it. I would assume it may have been either Lidl or possibly Schlapinski. See already some of the cars getting spread out here, but looking from the front wing past the Leighton house of De Vries goes Jon Tim. De Vries ran just a little bit wide on the exit of Nordkurve, and Jon Tim with the cutback had a great one. Look at this run on Batman. Straight up the inside on the braking. Can he keep it under control? He can. Get it stopped enough. Yes, he does. Up to 14th goes Tim. What a great outbraking maneuver. And now Matthias Wittmann, his next target. Both of these cars running manual gearboxes, but TGS with the Marder Ford engine lacking quite a few ponies compared to that V12 Honda engine in the back of the McLaren there. We can see the difference down that straight, and I imagine we will see some difference down this straight as well. That we do. Jon Tim looking for the move, decides against it. Not a big enough braking zone. And looks like Matthias will stay ahead, at least until after the stadium section. So he is being hounded quite harshly by Jon Tim here. That McLaren looking a little bit nervous. He might be driving that car harder than he would like. Drexler up to 6th. Someone has dropped back. Not Rocha, not Hiller, not Wilkes, not Grant. Someone else has dropped back quite a bit here, I think. No, okay, maybe as Drexler has gotten by Rocha, maybe, yeah. Oh no, Tim out of control! Oh! Just about avoids those tires. Tries to rejoin safely. Past the cars coming by. He does a great, admirable job at that. Let's go back and watch that moment on board here. Looking ahead. Loses it on the braking. Oh, throws it to the inside. Just about avoids those tires. That would have been one hallelujah big accident for him if he hadn't managed to avoid those tires. Holy moly! That will have been a hard stopper for Tim, if ever there was one. as Ray Riddle does the fastest lap of the race. John Tim up to 13th. Someone definitely has stopped back. Because that looks like someone... Dave... Oh no, Dave Miller out! Whatever happened to Dave? Oh no! Bremskurvet 2 claims the victim, it looks like. Let's see, under braking, looks like he may have been on the grass. Oh, he went a bit too tight on the grass, locked up and couldn't get the car slowed down enough. And unfortunately that's all that could be written about the Modena. So unfortunately Dave Miller out in the Modena. Our first official retirement in this race. Jason White still running in the Ligier. Currently 22nd with Sebagnon in the second Tyrrell 21st. Felipe Elias in the second AGS in 20th. Don de Barbera in the lone Brabham in this race in 19th. Brun Chacon 18th, Lavage 17th, Rob de Vries 16th. Matthias Wittmann has dropped back to 15th now, behind Simon Wattmann in the Ferrari. John Tim still 13th, and we already saw then Luke Rosella still working on Grant Riddle now. So Rosella definitely doing a good job, while admittedly Grant looks to have been suffering just a little bit around this place. Rosella is driving that footwork very well indeed. Tim Hiller having dropped back to 10th after that moment, Sandoram up to 9th and Wilkes up to 8th. Rocha in 7th and Drexler just inside the point still, trying to get to grips with the Belgian Juha Boos ahead of him. Nielsen still 4th, Strapinski still 3rd, Bouchard still 2nd, and out in front by 4.2 seconds now, Ray Riddle in the Williams. So with just a little lull in the action by the looks of things, let's have a look at the trivia question we have for you this evening. So for you to ponder for the rest of this evening's race, it is who captured pole position and set the fastest race lap in the 1970 German Grand Prix. Is it A, Jochen Rindt? Was it B, Jackie X? Or was it C, Denny Hulme? I will say I missed it. And Dave quite unhappy with that retirement, understandably. That's really unfortunate for you, mate. That was one of those unfortunate moments. Back to the track. We can see Wilkes still with Santarami in behind, and we can see looks like Tim had a bit of a moment coming through the third chicane there. As Reed rules, this is not the fastest race lap. Ooh, and what a moment for Santarami, just holds on. I think he curved hopped a little bit in the background while I was looking at the fast lap, and maybe even touched the grass on the other side of that little bit of extra tarmac road that is laid down for what I think is a shorter layout. And just about held on to that. That was quite a ride. See, and looks like one of the closer battles at the moment is this one, consisting of Wittmann in the AGS, Hlavac in the footwork, De Vries in the Leighton House, and Chacon in the Benetton. So let's just follow this for a moment as Hlavac curb hops on the exit of Nordcar. But still with a good run, as does Chacon on De Vries. Looks like Hlavac might have this position sorted. Oh, Wittmann might still try to do a bit of an outbraking maneuver, but doesn't happen. And Chacon also gets by De Vries in the same straight. Rosella now a little bit further behind. Oh, Jonatan has gotten by Rosella, and that's why he has dropped back a little bit, it looks like. Hiller in 10th. Someone else, as Tim, bit of a moment there. Someone else has dropped back a little bit. Oh, Grant Widall must have had a moment, maybe in conjunction with Rosella. So Grant back to, it looks like he was 17th or 18th at the moment. 18th, yes indeed. Yikes. Nightmare of an event for Grant, it looks like, but as long as his soldier's on, anything can still happen in terms of points. So looking up ahead, the Ferrari-powered Minardi versus V12 Honda and the chassis of a McLaren. Let's see what Jon can do. Looks like the gap is a little bit bigger than I'd anticipated. As Bors has lost out to Drexler, Drexler up to 5th. And the status quo at the front. Oh, Hiller with another moment must have had. Down at Bremskurve 1. Oh, all locked up. Decides, nah, I'll take the shortcut and be forced into a standstill and get back going. Loses out to Rosella as well. So Rosella up to 11th, Jonatan up to 10th. And Sundaram is still trying to get to grips with Richard Wilkes here. It's actually right on board with Sundaram as we go towards the stadium section, having exited the third chicane. Agam curve next. Up to Saxkurva. Listen to that power plant. Low grunt. Through Åcerclinth. Now through Sudkurva. Currently looks like V10 Honda power beats Judd V10 power. Ooh, but late on the brakes. When Wilkes just a little bit deep. Maybe this is Central's chance. No, look at that Honda V10 pull out of that chicane. Holy moly. Let's see further back, I noticed Wattmann and Hlavac in a battle. Ferrari versus Footwork. Ferrari V12 versus Hart V8. And down the straight, surely, there is very little Hlavac can do about that Ferrari, but with a bit of bravery through the turns. Ooh, and that footwork a little bit loose coming out of that second chicane, as we saw in the warm-up as well for Hlavac. Looks like in behind Wittmann and De Vries in a bit of a battle, AGS versus Leighton House. Few battle duels spread across this racetrack at the moment. After all, the 6.8 kilometers, so quite a bit of space to cover. So it's probably going to take another at least 4 or 5 laps, I reckon, before the first lappies will appear. Oh no, Felipe Elias in the second AGS retired. Let's see if we can catch what happened to Felipe. Looks like that might be a... Oh no. Oh, it's a blown engine. The Mazda Ford gives up the ghost. Heading into Nordkurve. So a first engine-related retirement from the AGS team, and in the race. And that is quite early. That is less than a quarter of the race. So more guys will probably have to be a little bit worried if they notice that it's an engine-related retirement there. Because if one has an engine issue, more will do as well. Hille in 12th, Rosella 11th, Jonatan still in 10th behind Wilkes. And Sandrame has gotten past Wilkes. Let's see if we can possibly catch where that happened. Because Wilkes looked like he had a measure on Sandrame. Oh, a better run coming through the Nord curve, I'd imagine. Let's have a look at this. Looks like simply able to stay close enough through Nord curve, and Slipstream did the rest. Slavac is out as well. Whatever happened to Slavac then? Oh, another retirement in the Bremskurve 2. Another big crash. Oh dear. So trying to get to grips with Wattmann got a bit too much for Slavac. Oh, he clipped the inside tires and got spat into the outside second set of tires. Ay. That is unfortunate for him. Sibagnone trying to get to grips with looks like that's Del Piccolo possibly unlapping or soon to be lapped by Sibagnone. Grant in 17th and not getting much closer to Chacon, it doesn't look like. But Wittmann and De Vries still in the battle. Wattmann now enjoying a little bit of clean air and some privacy. Hille trying to get to grips with Rosella. Looks like he's just slightly closing the gap there. And Jon Tim now in behind Wilkes. Honda V10 versus Honda V12. And it looks like the McLaren with the Honda V12 is definitely faster than the Tyrrell. As there goes Jon, had a good run through Bremskurve 2 and Ostkurve, and able to slip right by the Tyrrell of Wilkes. Wilkes down to 10th, Tim back up to 9th, and doing his best to get back up to field. Santarama having gapped Wilkes quite considerably, so Santarama quite a bit of pace on Wilkes over a full lap, but clearly not quite fast enough in the most places where you can make a pass. Which I believe the Yad-powered Dallara sort of has had as an Achilles heel through a lot of its race here. As we can see here, Schlapinski and Brad getting really close to one another. And lap traffic starting to come into effect. That is Jason White being lapped by this duo. And Schlapinski doing his darndest to get to grips with Buchard and McLaren. Like another battle where positions are being swapped is between De Vries and Chacon, and Wittmann has dropped back as well behind Grant. De Vries trying his darndest to get to grips with Chacon, who has a bit of a kick from the HBA 5 Ford engine in his car. But looks like oh, and yellow flag in here. What is this about then? No car currently seated here at least. Hopefully no major issues for anyone. Hille was probably yellow. He is dropped behind Chacon now. And in worry for Grant. And oh, Grant! Oh, I thought he was going to make it a double. Grant passed De Vries up to 15th and right behind Hille. So the fights are on all the way through the field. Wittmann trying his best to get to grips with the guys in front. He's now roughly where he qualified the car. 17th, I think he qualified 18th. Ooh, and running a little bit wide there, holds on to the car. Let's see, Drexler now goes by Jason White, and still Bouchard ahead of Schlapinski. Both of them dropping a little bit of pace each lap, a little bit of time each lap to Riddle. Yet again, looks like Riddle is doing the 91 Williams drive. Ooh, Schlapinski with a great run. Almost side by side there. Bouchard almost cutting him off. Let's see what Schlapinski can do. Bouchard just tailing a little bit towards the middle of the road, showing I'd rather you don't go up the inside here, and Schlapinski concedes that and stays behind going through the stadium section. Still in 6th, Rocha in 7th, Santorame in 8th still, Jon Tim 9th, having gone past Wilkes a couple of laps ago and trying to catch up to Santorame. But now, for Jon Tim, while he's had quite a few laps now where he's been going past definitely slower cars, and not necessarily slower drivers, they are doing very well in their cars. He's now reaching the point, I would say that would be the case with the Tyrrell and going forwards here, where the cars are roughly at his pace, not a lot slower, just a little bit slower, and that will make it a lot harder for Tim to make further positions in this race. Santorame all crossed up. Ooh, and Jon Tim likewise. Quite a bit of understeer coming through Bremskurve 1. And you have Wattmann ahead of Chacon and Grant, all three of them vying for position. Let's go to the... Oh, Grant really close to running into the back of Chacon then. Looking from the nose cone mounted camera here. Giving us quite the view of the racing surface. And look at the time he dropped from that moment earlier on in Bremskurve 1. But look at what pace look at the time he gained on Chacon through Bremskurve 2. Let's see, maybe he can outbrake Chacon going into Bremskurve 3. It's not a big braking zone, but just maybe he can. Look at the time he's gaining. No, he stays behind, hoping to get a run through maybe to go for Chacon into Agibkurve. But he ain't close enough. Oh, Chacon very wide though. But still enough pace to stay ahead. Tim Hillen not too far behind either still. But look at this hard of a battle, and they are racing for 12th to 15th position in this quartet. This looks to be, apart from the close run for second and third, the closest battle on track, so let's follow it for another lap or two. Looks like Chacon is on a run against the Ferrari of Wattmann. We're definitely trying. He goes for the inside and out breaks. Oh no! Grant all crossed up, holds on. Holy moly! And Johan Boss retired as well. So, oh, Grant just about held on. Let's do that. Let's go to Bors first. Let's see where Johan Bors ended up. There we are. I found him on the server. Oh, hello there, Juha. Hit the inside tire stack, got spat into the other one, I did shoot. Aye, that's highly unfortunate. Looking at... I see. Let's also have a look again at this moment Grant had as Bruno Chacon made a move on Wattmann. Grant got all crossed up on the brakes going into Bremskurve 1 and just about held on. Holy moly, that was close to a disaster. So yeah, looked like you had a good race going there, you had until that point. In case, let me just bring your volume up a little bit so we can actually hear you. There we go, I think. Oh, and Dante Barbera retired as well. Let's see what happened to Dante then, grab him. Oh, looks like another engine failure. Yep, that's definitely an engine failure. So that's, I believe, the second one in this race. We're not even half distance yet. Oh, indeed. We had an engine failure for Elias after only 8 laps, so definitely more to come. But that brings... Oh no, we were watching that earlier, so Wattmann now on the counter-attack against Chacon. Chacon got the position a lap ago, and Wattmann now possibly looking... decides against it, going into Bremskurve 3. 2. Probably the big brain decision there. Oh, look at that run through Åcerclinth. Side by side, going down towards Bremskurve 3. Let's see if he can... Oh, he goes by just about... Oh, side by side going in. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, both of them surviving, and here comes Grant. What a run with both of them running side by side, holding each other up. And Hiller along for the ride as well. Oh dear, contact! Oh dearie me, Wattmann takes position, Chacon holds on. And Grant... Oh, a contact! Ay, 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 ay. And Hiller really lucky not to go flying further than he did. And the Reese having a watching brief and going, hey, I like what I'm seeing up ahead. Why don't you do that some more? Wow, we were watching this before your retirement, and I think we are returning to this battle for a while. Holy moly. Looks like this is still the closest battle on track, apart from the Rukard and Slapinski run up ahead. It's Chacon now on the counter-attack again against Wattmann, looking left and right. With Wattmann running middle of the road, Chacon up the inside, slipstreams past, and back up to 11th he goes. Wattmann back to 12th. This battle is absolutely fantastic. I can't imagine it's doing their tires much good. Out of interest, you, since I missed to check it before the race, what temperature is the track and air at the moment? Whoa! Alrighty, that sounds very warm indeed. Ah, I see. That sounds very warm indeed. So, for pretty much everyone, hard, medium tires it is. I'd imagine maybe the mudder cars and the hard cars possibly getting away with mediums with their lighter fuel loads and kinder and lighter engines. Or even that, yeah, maybe. Completely forgot about that aspect of this race. So maybe that's what's troubling Grant, those Pirelli tires that he's on. Like he's struggling qualifying as well. Oh, let's get back up to the front then, and looks like pretty much what it was a few laps ago, with Buchard ahead of Ślepinski, and Ślepinski getting close before the stadium section, but unfortunately not able to run close enough behind that. Oh, as he though does the fastest lap of the race so far, despite dropping back from Buchard through the stadium section. That must have been a blistering lap up until that point. But surely Ślepinski is able to save some engine and fuel running behind Buchard like this, but that being said, with the air temperature quite hot as well, then if it's around 33, I'd imagine most of the guys will be restraining their engines a bit in terms of the boost that they are running, or boost mixture. I suppose it also depends on the on how good your cooling is in the car. Buchard had a big moment coming through Bremskurve 2, but Ślepinski not able to make enough of it to have a run into the third chicane, and status quo, I believe, through the stadium section once again. Ooh! Ślepinski curb hopping a little bit, running a little bit wide, but holds on to the car. Let's see a little bit further back if anything is going hot at the moment. Oh, Ridol responding to the fastest lap, 47.5 now. Well, rounded up to 47.6. Fastest lap of the race so far. Jonatan still not caught up to Centoram, and actually dropping back from Centoram. I wonder if Jonatan has used too much tires, having tried to get back up the grid. Rosella with a fantastic drive. Oh no, as I say that, holds on to it! Holy moly! Wow! Wow. We'll get back to that. Yep, just watching Rosella really all crossed up through Bremskurve dry, holds on to it, and lives to fight another day in the footwork. Holy moly, let's go back to this. We have had, oh no, hill off, big off! Out of the race he goes. Almost the exact same thing that happened to Rosella, but he was not able to hold on to it. Yikes. So pressured by Wattmann behind it, looks like entered just a bit too quick. Got into a slow slide, and just no recovery from that with the low wings. Ouch, that will have hurt. And that means a bit of a gap for these cars. The closest gap still between Chacon and Grant, I suppose. Unfortunately for us, because that was a great battle, but somewhat split up now. Yeah, looks like that HBA Ford is probably quicker. Oh, as Anders does the fastest lap of the race. Hello, Jordan. Looks like that HBA Ford of Chacon's pulls very well down the straights, but that Dallara chassis handling very well in the twisty stuff. Let's see if Grant can get a slingshot through the Bremskurve 3 and have a run down to Agip Kurve. Ooh! Chacon wide. It's definitely close enough. Let's see if he can make the move stick. Ooh, looking right and left. Ooh, late move! Ooh! decides against it and curb hops and runs wide as well. On lap traffic, that's Jason White and Lichier ahead of both of these guys. Oh, and this is rather unfortunate for Chacon, but looks like he should be able to hold on from Grant. Because I'd imagine Grant does not want to go by before Nordkurve, he'd rather go by after the straight after Nordkurve. Into Bremskurve 1 if he can. Let's see if he's able to stay close enough this time. He's definitely in the slipstream. Going for the inside. Let's see. Late break. Ooh, Chacon actually holds on! Wow! Oh. The moment coming out of the chicane, and Grant flies by. Let's see if he can stay ahead for the straight here. And then pull away in Bremskurve 2. He's definitely still ahead. Can he survive the Bremskurve 2? Yes, he can. So that should mean Grant now securely in 11th. Still 14th, Wittmann still 15th, and Szapinski has gotten by Bouchard during all of that. Let's see if it happened recently or a while ago. Looks like it happened a while ago. Oh, last lap indeed. Oh, look at that in the replay. Coming through Agip curve, great run, and just dives for it down. Oh, actually, Bouchard locked up and Szapinski slips up the inside. A little bit of rubbing, but I don't think that's enough to warrant a let the position back. That's a slip up the inside. Bouchard tried to close the door a little bit late, maybe. A little bit of side-by-side contact, nothing major. And both of them survived to fight another day. Szapinski up to second, Bouchard down to third. And Nilsson now with Drexler not too far behind. Oh, that's Rob de Vries. Is that another engine failure, I wonder? Oh no, he ran wide coming out of Opelkurve and smacked into the outside wall on the outside of Sudkurve and totaled the Leighton house. No, I haven't seen anyone enter the pits for tires as such. I've seen early on Del Piccolo enter the pits for some kind of repairs. Let's jump back on board with the wing-mounted camera of Drexler as he runs wide coming through Bremskurve 2. Holds on to the grey stuff for the most part, but drops quite a bit of time to Anders Nilsson up ahead. Looks like Szapinski more or less can run on Ray Riddle's pace for the time being, but not able to close in just yet. As Chacon heads for the pit lane, first scheduled stop of the race. Let's see what kind of tires he is putting on the car. Oops. B and C, so that is, I believe, hards on... Is that hards on the rear and mediums on the front? I believe the shall we call it, the higher the letter, the harder, the earlier in the alphabet the tire, the harder the tire. I imagine Wittmann might have pitted earlier as well. sorry, yes, what did you say that you heard? Then we'll simply have to wait and see as Jonatan heads for the pit lane now. See, no one else in the pits at the moment, so Jonatan in from 8th. And a fairly decent stop. Rosella sweeps by. I believe Jon will rejoin. Ooh, a little bit wide on the exit of the pits there. Rejoining 9th, so losing only 1 position. Åcerclinth into the pits. Just moments ago, just a couple of laps ago, getting past Buchan, now into the pits. And into the pits as well comes, that's the Ligier, I believe, with white indeed. Oh, that's unfortunate for Schlapinski. White parks right in front of him in his pit stall, and that slows Schlapinski's exit. But out of the pits he comes, in 5th. So dropping behind Nilsson and Drexler for the time being. Speaking of that, less than a second now covering the Jordan-Williams battle, now for 3rd and 4th. And looking at how Drexler's Williams behaves, looks like it's fairly well set up for most of the chicanes, but Bremskurve 2, the second chicane, he seems to be struggling in. Would you say that's a situation where you set up the car for either 2 of the chicanes or 1 of the chicanes, or? And here comes Drexler into the pits now. Meanwhile, Anders stays out. Rejoin in 5th. Rocha behind, and Rocha curb hopping on the exit of Nordkurve there, but survives. So Schlapinski back up to 4th, and not too far behind Anders either. So I imagine if Anders wants to respond to the pit stop of Drexler, he will need to do it pretty much straight away. Do you think he'll pull a bit of a Swedish masterclass strategy and stay out? Knowing Anders, he plans everything meticulously, so I wouldn't put it past him to be on the right tires. He is closing in on Buchard, so Buchard definitely on the wrong tires compared to Anders at least. but hitting the inside curb and curb hopping a little bit, that won't help his race, but only drops about half a tenth from that, so easily regained. As Ślepinski does the fastest lap of the race at a 46.6, showing that new tires and around half a tank of fuel. Yeah, that's the strategy if you want a fast lap. Meanwhile, roughly 12 seconds between first position Ray Riddle and second position Jules Bouchard. Right now, Nilsson dropping further back from Bouchard. Well, to be fair, that Ford engine in Nilsson's Jordan ain't quite as quick in a straight line as the V12 Honda, so I suppose if he's to gain anything, it's right here in the stadium section. Nilsson, being the Mr. Consistent himself, having done many endurance races, I would imagine he, apart from a couple of small mistakes like the one we saw last lap at Nordkurve, he's probably quite happy sitting and doing the laps he does. Let's see if any other battles is going on. Here is a battle, Rosella with Centorame right behind him. Oh no! Oh! Yikes! Rosella hit the inside curve at Bremskurve 3, got spat out wide and almost clobbered outside tires in the third part of the third chicane, but survived it and stays ahead. But that must have been really close in a Code Brown moment for sure. Oh, and look at that! Wow, Centorame keeping a tight line that Rosella could in Saxkurve and slips right by. Well, Centorame, though, I believe must have pitted a few laps ago, and maybe that's new tires, yeah? Because that looked very much new rubber, good grip. Then that explains why he had such a tight line easily compared to Rosella. Let's see, Wilkes not too far behind either. I'd imagine Wilkes has pitted as well. Grant still 11th, Wattmann in 12th, Chacon 13th, Wittmann 14th, Del Piccolo 15th, a lap behind. Jason White 22 seconds behind Del Piccolo, and last car running at the moment. Sebagnoni, De Vries, Drexler with the fastest lap, Hille, Bos, Barbera, Palavac, Elia and Miller, our retirees so far. And Nilsson looks to be able to keep and close in just a little bit each lap on Bouchard. So either Nilsson driving very well on older tires, or he's on the right tire for a no stop, or Bouchard having used up his tires far more in his battle with Ślepinski earlier on in the race. Ooh, and Drexler with a bit of a moment down the straight, or curved straight, but holds on to it. Down into Bremskurve 2 and Ostkurve, and drops just a bit of time to the cars in front, but keeps on running. It definitely looks like it's mostly the V12 powers race this. Ridol leading with the Renault V12. That's a V10. My bad. I was certain that's a V12. But yeah, V10 leading then, but obviously a very, very good chassis on that Williams. Notice Sebagnone has retired. Someone coming out of the pits there. Might have been Bouchard actually. Or possibly Åcerclinth with another fastest lap, 45.9. But the V12 in second. Then the V8 of Nielsen, though a very good V8 engine, in third. Okay, thank you. Yep. Then Ślepinski in what I think is the V12 Ferrari? Okay, but the year-old Ferrari V12. Still V12 engine. Drexler in the other Renault V10, but with a very good chassis. And Rocha in the V12 Ferrari. I suppose the Scuderia would be a little bit disappointed with seeing both, well, one of the Minardis with a year-old V12 ahead of the actual Ferrari. Yes, sir. And Lucy says that she thinks that the rest of the top 6 won't be pitting in this race. We'll see if she's right. Oh, Centorame off. I saw a position change and Centorame is off in the first chicane. Whatever happened here? Oh no! Oh no 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 no! Oh! Here's Rostes front wing in lead. That looked like that was unfortunate timing. Jason White up ahead in the Ligier locks the rears, and unfortunately Centorame not reading that situation well at all, slowing down a little bit extra, and it clobbers into the side of White and goes off, and as you say, loses the front wing as well. So into the pits he will come once again. That's really unfortunate luck for the Dallara team, and that looks like it might even have a puncture on the right front. Maybe not, but definitely taking it nice and easy with that lack of a front wing. So that will elevate Rosell and the footwork into the top 10. Oh no! As long as he survives that third chicane. That's the second or third time I've seen him nearly clobbered outside tires. As Drexler flies by Chacon, who takes avoiding action. Wittmann with a moment down the straight, but still 14th. Pico a lap behind. And Jason White still able to keep running. And Centorame goes into the pits. Grant up to 9th. Wilkes up to 8th. Tim up to 7th. 32 seconds in the rears to Rocha. So unless there's retirements up ahead, I don't think Tim will get much further up the grid than that. Drexler now only 9.5 seconds or so behind Ślepinski. Ślepinski himself gaining slowly but steadily on Nielsen, now only a little under 9 seconds behind. And Anders himself less than 2 seconds behind Bouchard. So Nielsen definitely going faster than Bouchard at this point in the race. So I'm on board with the tower camera, top of the airbox on the Jordan, and watch Anders at work as he tries to close in on Bouchard. and is a lot faster in the stadium section. Look at that, closing in over a second. And he's not done yet. It's 7 tenths. Wowee. Oh, look at that, Buchard all crossed up through Nordkurve. Nilsson in the slipstream, let's see if he can close in. V10, V12 versus V8. Look at that V12 power. Despite the slipstream, Buchard is pulling away. But look at... Ooh! And looking to get a good run off this turn. He got it squared up very nicely, but look at that V12 pull. And I don't know about you, but I find this track to be very difficult to be consistent at, but Anders looks to have it down to a pat. Let's go back to that for a little moment here. Oh, that is a lap between them though. So Piccolo just under a lap behind Wittmann now. So Del Piccolo unlapping himself there. Santorama has rejoined in 13th. Let's go back up to that battle for Segundas. Oh, traffic as well. Jason White jumping out of the way. And Nilsson now really giving Buchard a hard time. This looks to be the battle of the race at the moment, as Del Piccolo has retired! Whatever happened then? He just unlapped himself. Oh, that looks like an engine failure to me. Coming off the Nordkurve. Going to change gear and looks like nothing happens, it just dies. Yep, no engine in the car anymore. That's unfortunate for Gabriele. Both the opening lap moment, I didn't catch it, but something happened there, and Nilsson now still in behind Buchard. Yep, back on board with Buchard, looking back over his rear wing at the Jordan. And look at that run through Bremskurve 2. Nilsson really giving Buchard a hard go. Let's see if Nilsson can stay close enough through Bremskurve 3 here and have a go down into the stadium section this time around. 10 laps to go. Nilsson clearly more at ease with the car though. All of this is playing into Schlapinski's hands. Nilsson needs to get by if he wants to have any chance of holding on from Schlapinski, I think. Because this is really holding up Nilsson now. Let's see if Nilsson can get close enough now to after Nordkurve and have a go at Bremskurve 1. And that doesn't look fast enough to me. And look at that in the background, Schlapinski closing in ever so consistently on his new tires. Kom du gumman. Ja. So this is definitely playing into Schlapinski's hands, less than 3 seconds behind Buchard now. Oh, but Nilsson with a great run. Let's see if... Oh, is he really going to make it round outside at Saxkurva? Oh, he's still out there. He's still there. He's still there. Oh, he makes it. What a move. Holy moly. And Wattman retired as well. But what a move from Anders. Holy moly. That was such a great move. Let's watch that from on board with Bouchard. See, in the right side mirror we can see Nilsson up the outside. We can see him just on the outside there, almost just a tiny bit of contact. But Nilsson had the position around outside. I'd say that's fair game. Let's go back to... You said John Tim had a bit of a spin. Let's rewind that back and go back to Wattman after that. I'd imagine so, yeah. Oh, but Tim just running a little bit. Oh, damaged the rear end even. Ran wide, clobbered the curbing, and span up the wheels on top of the curb, I'd imagine. Those the things. And let's see now what Schlapinski can do about Bouchard up ahead. And Bouchard still keeping Anders at least somewhat honest going down the long straights, but let's see what happens as they enter the stadium section with Schlapinski right in behind Bouchard now. Oh, Schlapinski diving up the inside. Wow! That's some kind of overspeed, that. Holy moly. Schlapinski on a mission. For sure. So that's unfortunate for Nilsson. I think that means at best he'll get third. Unless there's further retirements in this race. As John Tim has retired as well. Looks like it would have been... Oh, he's in for repairs, so it would have been a long repair time, I'd imagine. Looks like he decides that, nah, let's not risk putting someone else out. As Jason White has retired as well, whatever happened to Jason then? Looks like it happened a little while ago. Oh no! Bremskurve 2 claims another victim in this race. We are slightly misjudges the braking area, gets on the grass on the right hand side, and the car just doesn't stop in time. That's unfortunate for Jason as well. So quite a few retirements in this race, but some good action as well. And now Schlapinski has gotten by Anders. Down the straight, looks like a relatively easy pass for Schlapinski. Newer tires, more powerful engine, and... Oh, we actually made it down into Bremskurve 2, that is brave. Or desperate, one of the two. 14 seconds to make up in 7 laps. I think that's a bit too much to ask. But we have seen that Ray can be mortal in that Williams. We saw it last time out in France, so... Actually, what do you think? Do you think Ray will be able to hold on no problem here, or is he going to be rattled when Schlapinski closes in? I think Nilsson doesn't have the pace to close in, though he is keeping up with Schlapinski though. I'll leave you in US capable hands for just a moment. Lucy the cat is needing of something, so I just need to double check what it is. It would be indeed. Apologies for all that sound. Cat in one arm, mic in the other, so... Dearie me. Oh dear! Oh! Yeah, that's a big off. Presumably, yeah, he had a moment maybe in Bremskurve 2 and tried to continue, but the car just wouldn't have it. That's unfortunate. And look at this, Drexler now caught up to Bouchard. So Bouchard in real tyre troubles here. And we've seen already that Williams is very quick. Oh, he tries for the inside at Nordkurve. That is brave and dangerous. Not able to make it down into Bremskurve 1, but right in behind Bouchard. Let's see if he can get a run going down to Bremskurve 2. Ooh! Looked like he was going to go for the inside, decided against it, and the car just said, hey, hold on just a moment, don't change direction too quickly. Oh, and Bouchard quite slow through that chicane as well. And Drexler in the slipstream, maybe with a chance down into Bremskurve 3. Oh, he's definitely close enough to try an outbreak, but I don't think he is going to. Oh, actually a moment for both of them holding on. And slightly off the optimal boost that looked like for Drexler and dropping back just a bit. And Slapinski has dropped the lead for Rideau down to what looks like about 8 seconds. So clearly doing a good job. Oh, Bouchard locks up. Drexler looking for the inside, but not enough gap there, and Bouchard holds on for now. And this is by far the best we've seen Drexler this year, and Williams looks like he's finally finding his footing. And about time as well, considering it's its home race in this year's championship. Oh, locked up, almost hits the rear end of Bouchard, but managed to avoid him. It looks like that Williams is quite a lot quicker than a McLaren, but where it needs to be quicker, off the turns, the McLaren really is in a class of its own in this field. Showing himself in the mirror, trying to put Bouchard off, and it looks like that has worked. He's had a better run, going for the outside move down to Agip Kurve on the right line. Oh, he sweeps by before. That's some overspeed, just like Slapinski did earlier, and Drexler survives Agip Kurve. Up to 4th he goes. Let's see, he has 3.5 seconds to make up in 3 laps. That's probably a bit too much, but you never know, that Williams is quick. Let's see the rest of the grid. We have Rocha still sitting in 6th. Good drive in the Ferrari, at least on for a point. Just outside the points is Richard Wilkson of Tyrrell. Nice quiet drive from him. Luke Rosella, great drive, taking some advantage of others having issues as well. 8th in the footwork. Bruno Chacon, nice quiet drive, no major issues as far as I've seen, and a good fight in the first half of the race, it looked like. Currently running in 9th. Rounding out the top 10 after his unfortunate off and damage to the car. Centorame in that position. Wittmann, last car running at the moment in 11th, so just outside the top 10 in that AGS. And 2.5 seconds, looks like Drexler might have enough in the tank to catch Nilsson. Question is, will he have enough to be able to try and pass the Swede? Likewise, looks like you were right, unless Vidal makes a major mistake here and drops a lot of time. Looks like he should have enough of a gap with 2 laps to go to hold on in front of Slapinski. So 2 laps to go, 2.5 seconds between 3rd and 4th. And Drexler running deep at Nordkurve, that won't help him. Actually, considering how important acceleration around this place is, how much do you think the semi-automatic gearbox in that Williams is playing a factor in how well it pulls off? And Drexler really going hard through Agip Gerva, survives, doing his darndest, but I think he's now overdriving trying to catch Anders, so I think he's better off just settling in and accepting, okay, 4th place, that's a good drive. But we'll see if he decides that is the case, or if he's still going to try really hard in his final lap. But that being said, final lap, and let me get the graphic up here. Final lap is on for Ray Vidal in the lead. We can see Slapinski behind, but not close enough unless Vidal has an oopsie or an engine failure or similar towards the end of this race, but that is unlikely, I think, as Vidal carefully negotiates Bremskurve 2 for the final time. Final real scary place around this place, I'd say. Centorame has retired as well towards the end of this race. I'm not sure Wittmann will be able to get past him to be top 10 classified, but oof. Yeah, that's unfortunate and unpleasant. Yep. Coming around, heading into Åcerclinth and towards through Sudkurve onto the start-finish line, and takes the win in the Große Mobil Preis von Deutschland. Holds on just ahead of Drexler. Wow. Yeah, that definitely looks like fuel save. And Rocha quite a bit behind, still 7 seconds, but could still catch up. Oh no, it's only 7 now. 6.5, I believe. So this is... yeah, this is going to be... looks like he had enough of a gap, thankfully for Berard. That engine really, out of Sudkurve towards the start-finish line. 5th for Berard, just out of fuel. And Rocha gets 6th in the final points in this race. Wilkes finishes 7th in the Tyrrell. Bruno Chacon finishes 8th in the Benetton. Luke Rosella with a great drive finishes 9th in the end, so Chacon got him on the final lap. That's unfortunate for Rosella. Wittmann did get past Centorame and will be classified in 10th. Great drive for Matthias. Ooh, what a race. A lot of action, a lot of close driving, some frills and spills. Just wow. Absolutely. Oh, that many even. Wow. Well, technically it's a Modena, not a Lambo. That is the plan, at least. Oh, that I will enjoy. I really like that place. Just giving it a few moments to see if anyone wishes to come in for a chat, but while we wait, let's have a look at the trivia question for this evening. The question for everyone was, who captured pole position and set fastest race lap in the 1970 German Grand Prix? Was it A, Jochen Rindt? Was it B, Jackie X? Or was it C, Denny Halm? Any guesses for you? We had A, 1970. And that, along with Barry Lynn, is correct. It was Jackie X. So, despite retiring, you at least won one thing this evening. I'm trying to look at it from the positive side. Any final thoughts from you around this event? I do hope so as well. The Hungaroring is known for being a track where passing is nigh on impossible, as long as, at least when it comes to aero cars. Touring cars, bit better, but still difficult. So qualifying will be essential at that place, but fun track to race. Hopefully the race will be good to watch indeed as well. So with that, thank you Juha, for helping me out with the broadcast here. And thank you everyone for tuning in and checking out this race that turned out to be an absolute blinder of a race. But until actually coming up as well, I should be bringing up. Coming up in 1 week's time, we have the 9th round out of 13 in our 1996 British Touring Car Championship, the DHL International Race Day from Thruxton, not to be mixed up with the Donington picture that is shown here, but the cars are correct. Race will be starting at 2000 CEST, and I believe there are a couple of cars available if you would be wanting to have a go at racing here with us. It is indeed. It's really good fun. Close racing, everyone has someone to race. Championship is extremely close. I think it's 3 points, 4 points at the moment, covering the top 3, and I believe it's around 20 points covering the top 6, so everything to play for with 5 rounds of that championship left to run. But until next time, which I believe will be in 2 weeks' time, when we will have Jason back in the booth, I believe, for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope you all take care and have a great couple of weeks coming up. Good night, everyone.